Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be looking through my journal. I finally get to do a journal flip through because I have finished this bad boy. So yeah, I'm really excited to see everything all together. And if you are new here, my name is Lizzie and I do a lot of journal, pen pal, crafty, slice of life content. So yeah, if you enjoy, then make sure to subscribe to stick around for more journal with me's. And let's just get straight into it. So I hope you enjoy looking through my spreads and I'll see you at the end. I have already recorded a flip through of my first insert, so if you do want to see that, it's up on my channel and I will put the link in the description. But today we are looking at the second insert that I have filled. So I started by just adding this traveller's notebook sticker which came with one of my inserts, the watercolour insert I purchased last year. And then because I started this in the autumn, I wanted to decorate it with some autumn stickers that my pen pal sent me. So I just put part 2 and then put the year because I did start this journal in 2023. So the first spread is kind of like a travel journal spread, even though I didn't necessarily travel far. It was when my pen pal Lizzie came to visit, so I wanted to document it because we went for coffee and then we also did some sun prints as well. So, and we also went for a walk in the forest, which is why I added these mushroom stickers on here. So yeah, I just wanted to do a nice travel spread for the start. And then this is just a general journal entry. I think I just did this one Sunday afternoon just to reflect on the weekend. And I used this sticker from Lizziesletters art and then kind of used lots of spooky-ish things because it was November. So it had just been October and Halloween. I also made this spread which was inspired by the Barbie movie, of course. So we have lots of little Barbie themed stickers, again from Lizziesletters art, and then I just added the quote from obviously the main song in the film, and I absolutely loved this film, by the way. So if I watch something that I really like or really enjoy, then I tend to do a spread about it in my journal. I don't do it with every series or show or film I watch. It's only like my favourites. This was my first reading spread. So at the end of last year, I recently got back into reading because I used to be an avid reader. I used to be a librarian, but then because of my job, I just have not had the time to read. So I finally got a book read, which meant that I could finally use these spooky stickers from Artimation Co. And it was The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. And yeah, these are my thoughts on it. And most of the spreads in this journal are on my YouTube as journal with me's because I do post a lot of the spreads that I create. So if you are interested in seeing me create any, then just check out the rest of my channel. Then I started to journal about Christmas and I had a bunch of Christmas stickers to use up from the previous year, so I figured I may as well do a lot of journaling about Christmas. And it was also our first Christmas with our cat Ralph, so I wanted to add some photos to kind of remember that. So this one was all about putting up the Christmas tree, and again this is also on my YouTube as a little Christmas vlog too. And then we have a snow day, so it finally snowed and we got to enjoy it, so I journaled all about that. This paper is from Swiftie Green, and then just a selection of wintry stickers that I had hoarded. On Christmas Eve we went to see the Wonka movie with my mum and my grandma, so I wanted to document that, and I tried to use lots of these like potion-y stickers because of obviously how he makes all the chocolate, and then I just added some of the quotes on there as well from the movie. And then I also tried to do the style of the writing, so I'm not great at lettering, but if there's like a logo or a specific font that is to do with the theme, then I will try and add it if possible, if it's achievable for me to actually write it. Then this one is all about actual Christmas Day, so there's Ralph opening his Christmas present, so I stuck in the gift tag as well. And then these were from Maragoni Silly Art's latest Christmas drop. And then just wanted to add some photos from Christmas Day. Here's me with my parents' dog Charlie. This spread was on the day after Boxing Day, and me and my friends met up. We hadn't seen each other for a very long time, so I wanted to document that as well. And again, I just used this paper from Sostrine Green and then kind of created the rest of the spread around the paper. And I really like how this one turned out with all the blues. It kind of splits up all the red from Christmas. Now here, there is obviously nothing. And this is because then it was the new year. So usually well, not usually, but this is my first time like finishing one of the inserts and then it becoming another year. So I wasn't entirely sure like what to do. I decided to leave a spread blank to create almost like a break in between them, so it was obvious that it was a new year. Because I had so much of the journal left, it seemed silly to start a new one. So instead then I just made a cover page on here. So I used this new little date stamp that I got, and then one of the pretty sunflower stickers from Maragoni Silly Art, and I just made this my cover page. And again, similar to the start of this journal, I just added the year in stamps at the bottom. So then here are my goals for 2024, which was exercise more, dance and bike rides, get better at cooking, and eat more veggies. And I'll be honest, I have not been great with these resolutions, so I really need to get back on this. But I do tend to create a goal page at the start of every new year, just something simple to keep me on track, but this isn't particularly keeping me on track. This spread was an entry to Junk Journal January, and the theme was quote. So I used one of the quotes from the Willy Wonka film because I just found this quote really inspiring, and then I used lots of pink to create kind of a border around it. And then when I was photographing the spread, it actually started raining, because if you follow my Instagram then you'll know that I take all my photos outside, and so a raindrop got on the lettering and ended up ruining it, but it's fine. Now this spread I had been wanting to make for a while, because one of my pen pals, Inda, and then somebody had sent me a PO box mail, and they sent me some money from their country. The value of it is like so small, so it's not like they've sent me money that is worth a lot, but it was really fun to just have something from two different countries. And then I also put the matching stamps with them as well that they sent on their letters. So yeah, it's just kind of a little nod to different cultures and countries. And I really like how it's so textured, because obviously the money feels so different to everything else. So I do really like this spread. And then I documented a little walk that I went on by myself, because I do like to journal about any walks that I do. So this one was just me by myself, so I took this photo and then printed it with my Instax, and again just decorated around the edge. You'll notice that I do tend to do this composition a lot. It's just kind of what I go to, and I find it really easy to compose the images and then have enough space for lots of writing as well if I decorate around the edge. So here we have another reading spread, and this is when I read Where the Crawdads Sing. I also ended up adding the book cover for this one too, so I just printed it on regular A4 paper and then used some cottage core stickers to kind of match the theme of the book. And then I also added some quotes from the story. So if I have any space to fill up on the spread, then if it's to do with something that isn't necessarily my life, then I will kind of Google if there's any quotes related to it that I can add on there to fill up the space a little bit. And then I went down a rabbit hole of being obsessed with this book. So then the next day I watched the film. So then obviously I had to journal about the film too. And I actually really like this spread because I like how there's a lot of photos and not necessarily lots of writing. So I just added some little notes and tiny little additions to the spread around the photos, which I really like. This one was a spread about a walk that I went with my mum, so I just added some pretty flowers, this little stamp that I got from somebody's letter, and this paper I'm not sure where it's from because I think one of you guys sent it to me. And then we also went for coffee, so I ended up adding a little coffee stamp too. And then this spread is probably my least favourite spread out of my whole journal. And I don't not like it, it's just my least favourite. And that's because, I don't know if it's because the printouts and the papers just aren't very like saturated. The colours are very muted, but then like this blue is very saturated. So I don't know, it just doesn't really work too well. I was trying to go with the same kind of thing as the Where the Crawdads Sing spread, but it didn't really work. But yeah, this is one of my favourite films, La La Land, so that's why I wanted to create a spread about it. And I had these bits of ephemera that I'd bought ages ago with these little negatives, so I felt like it was the perfect time to use those. So then I actually ended up doing these spreads whilst I was skiing in France in the hotel room. So I did a spread about the actual travelling day and just added some bits from my suitcase that they'd stuck on. And then I was thinking about lists of books that I wanted to read. So I added this to be read list in my journal because a lot of these I spotted in the airport where the bookshop was. And I didn't buy any because I was worried about the suitcase weight, but I feel like I should have bought them whilst I was there. So yeah, I have got these books to read throughout the year. Obviously my to be read is very short compared to probably most people's because I don't have that much time to read. So then I also created these travel spreads from obviously the trip, and if you want to see footage from the trip and how I create these spreads, I've got a How I Travel Journal video on my channel too. So yeah, this one I didn't add too much writing, I just wanted the focus to be the ephemera. It was also Valentine's Day whilst we were away, so I also had to journal about that. And I think it was quite nice to break up all the blue spreads with a bit of pink. And then I also started painting on my travels so that I could stick these into my journal, and it just gives it like a real tactile scrapbooky feel. And again, another spread with some paintings that I did with lots of ephemera and cute things from the trip. And then when I got home, I ended up doing some journaling about Taylor Swift. So I've started creating spreads of each album. I'm a massive Swiftie, if you didn't already know. So I added these stickers on, although I keep realising that I keep adding the wrong stickers. Like this lyric is not from Evermore, it's actually from Folklore, and I did the same on the Folklore one. I ended up putting stickers from Evermore on it. But yeah, I really like it and how autumnal it is, because obviously that's my favourite season, so it's my favourite like colour palette. And then I tried to do the text as well, so it was similar to the font from Evermore. And then I had afternoon tea at home with my mum, but we got it from this cafe, so I kept the label and just used it as the decoration. And then this sticker sheet was from the Valentine's collection from Automation Co. I often find that her sticker sheets are pretty like well themed, so there's usually something that I want to use in my journal. So yeah, I just wrote about that and then ripped some of the quotes from the leaflet as well as kind of like a font sticker, if that makes any sense at all. And then I was still on the Taylor Swift hype, so I also made one of Red. Again, I had like these All Too Well stickers and then just used lots of different Red stickers. When I write the track list, I don't always put like who it's featuring because there isn't really enough space to do that. So yeah, I'm not too like precious on the track list. It's not necessarily always perfect. And then this spread, you might recognize this because one of my pen pals sent me the most beautiful flip book with these little bunny rabbits on, and I was planning on using it as decoration on my wall, so I was going to stick the flip book onto my wall. But then I decided that I would take the stickers off the flip book and then decorate them in the same like composition that she put them in, so it was kind of like I was just taking them from the flip book and then sticking them in my journal as a way to preserve it even longer, because I just thought it was so beautiful and like it was just like perfect spring as well. So I just added it with this quote and then continued to decorate with matching stationery where possible. And this is a quote that I see a lot on Instagram, and it just reminds me to not always be like looking to the future. So yeah, this is just to remind me to live in the present. Then we have another reading spread because I recently finished Ninth House and I'm already reading Hellbent, so I'll definitely be able to do another reading spread at some point. So I used one of the witch stickers and again more of Automation Co stickers because the book was very dark academia, so I wanted to capture that in the decoration as well. And then the last spread is kind of a little reminder that the seasons are changing. I went for another solo walk yesterday, so I took this photo, and then I had these stickers from my Patreon because it's all themed around forest core. And then I just created a collage background and used this memo just to document the date. And I just put a solo walk at dusk around the forest. It's all a little more green. Spring is coming, because I wanted this to kind of finish off this journal and show that it was leading into a new season and into a new spread. So yeah, that is my journal so far. So now I'm going to set up my next insert, and I'm just going to decorate the front page a little bit. So once I've filled in this journal, I think I'm going to have to purchase some more inserts. I'm essentially just going to keep using these inserts and then refilling them in the cover, the leather cover. I'm not going to keep buying like different covers. So I found these stickers, which if you watched my craft studio setup video, then you'll know that I have 3 billion like Patreon stickers from like 3 years of being in people's Patreons. So I'm trying to use them up, and I feel like the covers of my journal is a good place to start. So this one is from Thanks You, and it just reminds me of like April showers and spring, because here in the UK when it's spring it is usually very rainy. So I was thinking of putting it on here with like these stickers as well, but I think I'm just going to put it by itself and then put these ones on the back. And because they are vinyl stickers, it makes it like, obviously I know that they're going to last longer. And looking at this one, actually I think it might be a transparent sticker. Oh, it is a transparent sticker. So it actually looks even cuter. So then I'm just gonna stick, oh, I've got a mark on there. I'm just gonna stick the other ones on the back. I'm not in as many people's Patrons as I used to be. I used to be in quite a few people's, but now I'm part of Studio Meggy's Patreon. So I only get one extra sticker a month, which obviously is going to help my collection slow down a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to create my front cover and it's going to be more spring vibes. But yeah, I'm gonna hand you over to voiceover Lizzie in the future, as this is gonna be a little bit of a time lapse. I first started by trying to find some memos to use for the front page. I wanted to just go with the same kind of composition that I do for all my cover pages, where I just start by layering memos and bits of washi on the page just to cover up a lot of the background, and then I will just decorate with stickers, and then I will just add a little date on there so I know which start of the year or what time of year it is when I started this journal. I recently got these really cute like purple holographic little sticker memos, and because I was using the lilac purple pansies, I felt like they would fit quite well with the theme. For a girl sticker, I wanted to just use one of the washi tapes that I already had, which have lots of girl stickers on. I will probably mispronounce it, but I think it's the Dolce Vita. That might be wrong. But yeah, so I just wanted to use one of those pet tapes because there is a girl that is holding a bouquet of sunflowers, and this spring I plan on planting an army of sunflowers in my garden. So that was kind of a little hint towards that, as I want to try and document how I'm trying to improve my garden a little bit in this journal over the next season, as I'll be starting to plant lots of things for the summer. I also had this stamp, which I've had for I think quite a few years now. I just always forget that I have it, but it's a really pretty like whimsical lily of the valley stamp. So I just use that to decorate the edges a little bit more, and then just started to add on the memos around the main part of the spread. I am really enjoying decorating my first spreads on the season that it is at the time, because that just helps to kind of organise the journals in a way. I know that I'll have the dates on there, but with the season I'll know specifically what time of the year it is, and of course I'll have every journal spread dated anyway. But yeah, I just like seasonal things basically, so it's just another excuse to explore that a little bit. Pansies always remind me of spring as well. I don't actually have any in my garden at the moment, but I do want to plant some because I just think they're really cute, and I like how all the petals are different shades of colours depending on what kind of flower it is, or even when they're all the same type, they are still also unique due to the different colours and shades of them. These are the little stamps that I was talking about, and I'm just writing 2024, and then instead of adding like what part it is, I decided to just add my date stamp, so I just knew what day and month it was when I set it up. And then I'm just adding my favourite little bow stamps that I've just been putting on everything. I feel like bows are kind of like the thing of 2024. I feel like I'm just seeing them everywhere. But I'm here for it because they are a vibe. And that is the finished spread of the start. So voiceover Lizzie is done, and I will pass you back to pass me. So I hope you enjoyed looking through and got some inspiration. If you did enjoy, then please make sure to subscribe, like, or comment, because that just really helps me out. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Sorry, Ralph is here, so I'm just seeing if he's going to come and say hello. He says subscribe. Okay, bye.